Oh man, in this video we need to talk about Solana, a project which at one point was hugely in the dumpster, now sitting at $190 up, another 5% or so today, but more importantly, it is trying to flippin' BNB to become the third biggest crypto after Bitcoin and Ethereum. Is this a project I believe in? Is this a project I want to actively DCA into? And is this something that can go and start breaking its all-time high? I'm going to break down my exact price target on Solana, plus how I feel about this project. If you appreciate these type of videos, smash up the likes. Do not forget to subscribe. As always, if you want to trade with this community, you can do so in our Telegram community, ijazcrypto.com/TG. Link is the very first one in the description. Now, take a look at this move on Solana. Big couple of weeks, a 25% week, followed by 11% week, and this week now, 31% here on Solana. And it's not just Solana, right? It's the meme ecosystem on Solana popping off as well. You've seen the dog with hat, you've seen Bonk, you've seen all of these different meme coins on Solana. The Solana season hype is real, and the question is, how much further can this go? Now, in order to understand where Solana could go, because I know there's a new crypto investor and trader born every single day, there are so many of you watching this video who haven't come across Solana for a long period of time, dating back to its previous all-time high in 2021. So I need to give you guys some context. Some of you will understand it, others will not. So you got to remember, Solana was a darling child, right? If you date back all the way here into July of 2021, it went on an absolute tear in the remainder of that bull market. And as Bitcoin hit 69,000, we hit a peak on Solana of $260. Yes, so when you're sitting here at Solana, $190, you have to remember, this is a project that sat at $260. And full disclosure, I hold Solana with a cost basis of around $19, $20 in the early 20s. So you're looking at already an easy 10x on my holdings on Solana. But why is it I'm so conflicted with this project? I need to give you a little bit of context. So when I started investing in Solana earlier on, when I obviously got the lower cost basis, it was because I thought it was a very fast blockchain. I invested in Solana as a project that would move fast and break things. Right? Now, it's important to understand, what do I mean by that? Well, if you look at my portfolio, I'll have some investments which I just want to be reckless. I don't hold them because I think they're going to be super safe and never go to zero. I kind of know they're going to be risky. Solana was one of those. They were aiming for so much speed, right? So much throughput that I knew that there must be a risk in terms of the security. You remember, layer one solutions have the blockchain trilemma, right? And nobody has really, I mean, lots of blockchains claim to solve it. But if you over-index on any one of the speed, decentralization, security, you end up messing up something else. So because Solana over-indexed on speed and throughput, I always in the back of my mind thought, okay, this may end up becoming very centralized, or it may become very unsafe or not secure. So those are always risks which play in my mind, but I also still wanted to invest in it because I knew it would move fast and I knew it would create adoption. Because remember, blockchains are only as good as people using them, right? People understanding they exist, downloading the wallet, interacting with the blockchain. And Solana, you've got to give them props, have managed to do that. Hold up, do you want to learn how to trade? Then you need to jump into our Telegram community. Link is in the description. In our Telegram community, I share my altcoins. I share how I do my trade setups, how I do my stop losses and take profit, so you could learn to become a profitable trader. Check it out, link is in the description. Outside Bitcoin and Ethereum, Solana is being used. If you go to the average person in crypto, they've probably interacted with the Solana blockchain, they've probably used it. Many of the other ones that we talk about, these other layer one solutions, many people haven't used them. Right? The die-hard fans of those communities use them, but has the average crypto person interacted and actually used for use cases many of these other layer blockchains we hold? No. People just hold the token as investments and as speculation. So we've got to understand, Solana does have that, and it's important to give them that credit. Then you have to fast forward on into the chart and say, okay, you had your bear market, the price started going down, but Solana took a disproportionate hit due to the whole FTX Alameda research research, Sam Bankman-Fried entanglement, which of course led the Solana price to really struggle, crashing as low down as $8. In fact, did it even go lower than that? Maybe even a little bit lower than that. So crazy thing. The project that went from $260 ran down to $8. And what did I say at the time? I said at the time that for me personally, and again, everybody's portfolio was different, it made very little sense for me to sell my holdings, right? I mean, we were talking an average cost basis of $19, $20, $21 in that range. Look, it already took a hit down to $8, but there was no point in me selling. This was a project which I held up till here, right? $260. It was painful to ride that all the way down to $8. In fact, you may have said it was irrational, but I kind of held on to it because I had such a low cost basis. Now, had I have been somebody who was FOMOing in on the green candles, chasing these green candles, like I always say never to do, don't chase green candles, then of course, this drop down to $8 would have been horrible. We're talking a 99% drawdown on your portfolio. That is not something you want to be holding through. But because I was in early, I was able to hold it. The thing, however, is, and I kept raising this in my videos, look, I said, look, I'm not selling, but I'm not actively DCAing. I did not have the confidence. I'll be transparent with you guys. I did not have the confidence to DCA Solana through the $8 range, $9 range. I didn't. Now, I wish I could sit here and say I did. I didn't, right? There's many other altcoins which I did DCA at the bottoms, including Phantom, including many others, right? Including Bitcoin at 15,500, including Ethereum at the lows as well. I managed to have conviction and DCA those. Solana wasn't one of those. And in fact, I even made videos sharing why, for me personally, it just didn't make sense because of the amount of downtime they had. The downtime was becoming ridiculous. You could see how much downtime there was, and I was hugely worried. Now, the other important thesis, the other important aspect of why I didn't want to sell my Solana, why I didn't want to DCA more Solana was this. And this is a very important point you need to understand before we get into the price target of where this can go. The other reason I didn't want to add some more was because I understood that there were many other investors in my exact shoe who bought in even cheaper than me, guys. We're talking billion-dollar funds buying Solana. Very, very rich, early money getting into Solana at a much cheaper price than me, who are sitting here waiting to dump. And we've got to understand that. Solana's having a lovely run here right now, but there is no way you can forget that there will be people looking to offload Solana. The question is, when are they going to offload? There'll be some big money who probably wrote this investment off, right? When it fell from $260 down to $8, they probably said, maybe we won't see much Solana back again. Maybe if we're lucky, we'll get to $30, $40, $50 and we'll cut our losses. So when they're sitting here now and Solana's sitting at $190, you best believe a lot of these will be looking to offload. And so for me, this could be a very volatile altcoin going into this bull run. That being said, am I sleeping on it? No. A very strong blockchain, a very fast blockchain, incredible throughput, great meme ecosystem. I know we laugh at this meme ecosystem like it's nothing. It's not. Sometimes a meme ecosystem can be the difference between people interacting with a blockchain and not. If dog with hat is the reason that people are now starting to use Solana, maybe they'll go use it for some other real use cases afterwards. I mean, if you take a look at the total value locked here, you can see Solana is fourth after Ethereum, Tron, Binance Smart Chain, and then it's Solana. 132 protocols. If we click into Solana, let's take a look here, which are the biggest ones. You can see Marinade Finance is sitting there with close to $2 billion. Jito for liquid staking sitting at $1.7 billion. People are using Solana, and you're seeing those metrics kind of go up here over the last 7 days. I mean, 38% more going into Marinade, another 36% into Jito. And this will happen more and more across all good layer 1 solutions through the bull market, because people will be searching for yields, they'll be interacting with DeFi more, and you'll see more people not just using layer 1 chains for meme coins, but actually using them for actual finance related activity. So we'll have to monitor that. So it's not that I'm sitting here saying, oh, there's no use in Solana. No, Solana is a good project. It has some problems with its downtime. Hopefully they can fix that over time, but it's kind of part of the calculus, right? Like I said, if you're investing in a blockchain because you want them to move fast and break things, you then can't cry that your Ferrari breaks down. It's kind of part of the business, right? That said, you don't want a McLaren which never leaves the driveway. That's a bit useless. So you kind of want it to be usable, but within a framework. By no means do I think Solana is ever going to be as reliable as something like Cardano, but I never want it to be as reliable as Cardano because Cardano moves slowly. So when I hold Cardano in my portfolio, I do so knowing they're going to move slow and be methodical and peer-reviewed and researched and slow. But then when I hold hold Solana, I want it to do exciting things. I want them to move fast. And I understand that sometimes a Ferrari can break down and end up in the garage, right? So that's my thesis. So we got to understand that there is some risk here of the pumpability, if you like to say, of the coin slowing down as investors will want to offload this project. Okay, so now let's get into the price target, which I've promised you. So you guys know when this kind of retraced all the way down to the lows of $8, I shared these Fibonacci levels in a past video. I said, look, guys, I think this will comfortably get to the Fibonacci golden pocket, and you can see it's done exactly that, right? Fibonacci golden pocket, $169 to $177. In fact, it's broken through that. Now, do not be surprised to want to see this retest the golden pocket, maybe just retest it for a bit before then mount an attack towards the all-time highs. Do I think Solana gets to all-time highs of $260? Yes, I believe Solana gets to all-time highs. What's more interesting, however, is where does it go from here? Because if you look at the Fibonacci golden extension, that brings you to $429 on your Solana, okay? So that's more than a 2x from where it currently is, and that would bring you to this price point on Solana. But in order to do that, you have to remember that Solana is already sitting at $84 billion in market cap. So if you wanted to double in price and more, call it 2.5 times in price, you're talking about $200 million here, okay? $200 billion here in terms of market cap. Okay, so that's what you're calling for. And again, that's not something that's crazy. I mean, you can already see Bitcoin sitting at 1.3 trillion. You can see Ethereum is a clear leader in terms of altcoins at that $500 million price range. And again, many people expect Ethereum to do much better than it. They expect it to get to $1 trillion, right? With Ethereum close to $8,000. So that's where, you can see there's a big gulf then to the next major altcoin, which is then your Binance coin and your Solana coin, which is currently a big jump here. I mean, we're talking a 5x multiple between where BNB and Solana are and Ethereum, and that is the gap that Solana will want to fill, right? Solana will want to get closer and closer to Ethereum. Now, there is one final positive bullish case which you can make for Solana, and that is around the whole ETF narrative. We can already see that part of the reason Ethereum is getting excitement is a lot of people think Ethereum spot ETF at some point will be approved. And so if you logically play out that scenario, what will happen next? People will be looking for what is the next altcoin that is going to get a spot ETF thereafter as well. And I think Solana, you've got to admit, is in the lead up. I've made a video in the past where I've said Solana, XRP, Cardano are three of the front runners. I believe that if Ethereum got a spot ETF, they'd be knocking on the door to get an ETF as well. And don't be surprised to see those kinds of coins do well as well. Again, all of them in the top 10. Cardano sitting here at 8th. You can see XRP sitting here 6th. Solana sitting here in 5th. This is the altcoin season, right? We've spoken about it plenty of times. We've done the dress rehearsals. I've tried to help you throughout the bear market, DCA. Hopefully, if you found that useful, then please smash up the likes. But now it's happening. Right? We saw Bitcoin run, you saw Ethereum run, you're now seeing Solana run, and then you start to see other altcoins run, you start to see then the mid caps in the top 20 to 30 run, then you see the micro caps run, you see NFTs run, you see AI run, you then see meme coins run. This is the bull market we talk about. And the question now is, are you going to sit on the sidelines and be scared, or are you going to have the conviction to invest, to trade, and actually make the most of this bull market? If you want to learn exactly how I'm doing that, you can do so in our Telegram community, ijazcrypto.com/TG. Final reminder, we also have a very, very important FOMC week coming up this week. So on Wednesday, Jerome Powell will be coming out. Markets do not, I repeat, do not expect a rate hike at this meeting, nor do they expect a rate cut. Markets think we'll stay the same at the 5.25 to 5.5 range. And so our focus will be on what does Jerome Powell say? Does he come out hawkish? Does he come out saying, no, inflation's not done yet, we got loads more work to do? Or is he going to come off dovish, soft, and say, okay, we're getting there now, we should be able to bring interest rates down? Because the reality is by May time, which is the next meeting, markets were initially starting to think we'll get a cut. Again, they don't think we're going to get one. Moving into June the 12th, that is where half the market, 55% of the market, is expecting our first rate cut. And this is where things are going to get exciting. A Bitcoin halving with a rate cut. Things should really start to get nice and bullish. And for me, I'm super excited about where this market could end up in the remainder of this year. If you appreciate this type of content, smash up the likes. Do not forget to subscribe. Go watch this video here, and I'll see you in the next one.